Okay, so we're going to go over um, receiving an agreement of sale. So basically like receiving a document, having a PDF version of a document, and having to manually add in all of the initial boxes and the signatures for your client. So for this example, I'm going to use an agreement of sale that the buyers already signed and the buyer's agent emailed over to me as a PDF. So I received a flat PDF version of an agreement of sale, and I now need to get initial boxes and signatures for my sellers so that they can sign off on it. So we're just going to use that as an example, but the way that we're doing it, tactic can be used for anything that you're bringing in as a flat PDF. The method is going to be about the same. So we're going to start with bringing in my agreement of sale, the PDF that I have saved on my computer, bringing that in to my documents in my transaction room. Okay, so you can do it one of two ways. I've had it recently. It depends on how many things are going on in your computer. I've had it recently, kind of, if it's a bigger file, take a little bit of time to load. So it might be a little bit easier to bring it in on the Documents tab because it will show you a status bar of it loading. You can also bring it in just in an envelope. So if you're sitting in your envelope, there's an option to just upload from your computer from there. But like I said, sometimes when it's bigger, it doesn't show you a status. So you may try to like upload it a few times, and if it's a bigger file, you're gonna think that something's just not working right. So we're gonna just manually add it in the Documents tab, because that way I'll see my little status bar. So I already have it downloaded to my computer. So I'm gonna hit add, and I'm gonna choose computer as my option and pull it from my computer. And I want PR. Where are you? This one. Okay, so it already brought it in. That was quick. So down here, I have PAR, standard agreement for the sale of real estate, signed. This was the PDF version that I received from the buyer agent. So we're just going to choose that just to keep it simple. So I'm going to check off the box next to that one, and we're going to bring this right into an envelope so that we can now add in the initial boxes and the signature boxes for my sellers to sign off on it. So I checked off this PDF one, and I'm going to hit this pen to get into my envelope. So the pen says DocuSign. All right, here's my envelope. Always name it. So we're going to say agreement of sale. And this is for my sellers are selling 123 Enchanted Way. My sellers are Cinderella and Prince Charming. I'm going to give it a date too. All right, so I named it agreement of sale for the property, and when the date, maybe I would give the name of the buyers if, I don't know, we had a couple different offers going on for this. So you can name the envelope whatever you want. My advice is just make it as detailed as you possibly can, because when you have multiple envelopes in there and you're trying to figure out where something changed later, having none of them named makes it a real pain in the behind. So name your envelopes. We already brought in that envelope right here under more, and upload is where you could have just brought it in from the envelope if you needed to, but I just threw it in the Documents tab. All right, so add recipients is where things are going to look a little bit different. So when I hit add recipient, I don't get that normal pre-tagged roles option that I usually do when I'm using DocuSign forms. And that's because I'm not using any DocuSign forms. I don't have any roles on this document. This document is a flat PDF. It's not interactive, and there's no fields on there that I can even assign. It's flat. So you won't get pre-tagged roles as an option. So under add recipient, what you're going to use is room participants, because that's going to pull whoever's in your details tab, and it'll make for less typing. So we're going to do room participants, and here's where I'm just going to check off my sellers here. So I have Cinderella as my seller 1 and Prince Charming as my seller 2, and they are all I need for this one. So I'm going to hit add selected, and it's going to bring them in. And we're going to manually add in their signature boxes later. So here are my recipients: Cinderella, Prince Charming, my sellers. Down here under message all recipients is where I can write what I want my email to say when they get this document. But we're going to move on. So we're going to hit next. And that's going to bring us to the step where we're now able to bring in all those initial and signature boxes. And we're going to have to manually do it. So I will show you how. All right. So here is that agreement of sale that I received from the buyers. Okay, here's those buyers' initials. Here's where I need to bring in our initials as the sellers. So up top in the top left corner, I have a drop down where I have it color coded. Cinderella will be yellow fields, Prince Charming will be blue. I'm going to start with Cinderella. I'm going to click on initial one time and it's going to overlay it on my document. I'm not holding down my mouse right now. I just clicked it once. I'm going to bring it where I want it to go, and then I'm going to click it one more time to drop it down. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to click on those little white circles in the corners and make it a little bit smaller so it's not so blowing up on everything. So we're going to put her initial, then I'm going to choose Prince Charming, and I'm going to throw in his initial. Do keep in mind that DocuSign does not automatically tag the date that they signed. So if that is going to bother you, add in the date signed too. I'll choose from Prince Charming. Just do all of it. All right, so now I'm going to show you a shortcut to make it a little bit easier to get this on the next 13 pages of this document. So you don't have to drag and drop 100 times. So I have now placed this the way that I want for my seller's initials. What I'm going to do, and let me show you where my mouse is, we're over here. I'm going to click down with my mouse and I'm going to start dragging, and it's going to draw a little dotted line bubble where I can kind of encompass all of the fields that I'm trying to select. So I've got my little dotted line bubble around here. I'm still holding down my mouse. I dragged it down, and now I'm going to let go with my mouse, and it's going to bring a little blue outline to show me everything that's been selected. So I have now selected all of these fields. I'm going to copy these and I'm going to paste them on every other page of it. It's going to make it nice and easy. So to copy it, I'm going to hold down the Control key on my keyboard and C as in cat. So hold down Control, hit C, and then let go of everything. That copies it. If you're using a Mac, it's Command C. All right, so we're going to scroll down now to the second page, and we want to be careful how far we scroll. If I scroll this far down, it's going to drop it down on the third page. I want to keep it on the second, so right here is good. I'm going to hold down Control, and then I'm going to hit V as in Victor, and then let go of everything. So hold down Control, and then hit V as in Victor one time, and then let go of both. And it's going to drop it onto the page. Now, it copies it, the orientation on the page too. So it was kind of at the bottom of the page, but page one's a little bit higher up. The initial box is a little higher up than the rest of the pages. So now this is a little bit too high, but they're all selected right now. So if I don't click anything, they're all selected. And if I click in the middle of it and move it down, I can now place it in a more comfortable spot for this page. And if I remember correctly with the agreement of sale, if I copy it now again off of the second page, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm still all selected in blue, so I'm going to hit Control C. If I copy it off of this page, I think it gets it a little bit closer for every page after that. So we're going to now scroll down to page 3. And remember, don't go too far because it's going to drop it somewhere on the next page. So I want to be right here. Hold down Control D. There we go. And I don't have to move anything. Now we're good. All right, down to the 4th page. Control V, and 5th page, Control V, down here, Control V, Control V. I'm just going to keep on moving. You get the idea. I'm just hitting Control V to paste it through the rest of the pages. And since I copied it at the bottom of that one page, it's placing it pretty well for the rest of them. So it's pretty easy. So we're just going to make our way through. And then I'm going to show you how to bring on the signature boxes on that last page too. Okay, so here we are on the last page. So now we need their signature boxes. So I'm going to go to Cinderella first, choose signature. So I click that once, and now I'm going to drop it on the page where I need it. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller by clicking on that little white circle in the corner and dragging it in, and add my date sign. So I click date sign once, and I'm just going to drop it where I want. All right, switch to Prince Charming signature and date signed. Cool. All right, so that's now all set for me to send to my sellers. So I would just hit send, and off it goes. And then they would sign it, and we would have our fully executed document. Once they sign it, you will have in your room under the Documents tab, you'll have the original PDF one that you brought in. Then you'll have a new one. That one has like a little red icon next to it. Let me show. There we go. There's a little red PDF next to it. you'll have a new one in here that will look pretty much the same, but it will have a green signed next to it. So that'll be the one that is fully executed with your seller signatures too. At this point, this red PDF one that was only signed by the buyers, I can archive this off. So I can just right click, archive, get rid of it so I don't get confused of when I have now another one that says signed, that has my seller signatures on it too. I'll be able to quickly tell which one is the fully executed one. So I can just archive off that original version with just the buyers. And then once my sellers sign it, I will get a new one that will have the seller signatures on it. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope that helps.